Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Binta, and today I'm gonna be sharing with you guys how I make this very delicious beef stew that you can enjoy with some brown rice or white rice. Okay, so if you want to see how I make this, stay tuned and watch the rest of the video. Go ahead and also hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Like this video, and if you are an old subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in once again. Let's get started, okay? Okay, here is some of the ingredients that we are going to be using to make this dish. And I have some garlic. I also have some jalapeno peppers, two of them. That's optional. I have some bell peppers and I have some onions, okay? All these are going to be blended. And for my extra vegetables, I have some cassava, which is yuca, and I have some carrots and tomato paste, okay? And another thing I have is my meat. Of course, you can use any protein of your choice, be it fish, chicken, or meat, but I'm going to be using beef today with bones on it because I enjoy my meat with bones, okay? So now we are going to go ahead and do some blending. And right here I have some tomatoes from the can. I prefer to use the fresh tomatoes, but I don't have fresh tomatoes, so I decided to use the canned tomatoes, okay? And we're going to go ahead and blend those with my onions, garlic, and jalapeno peppers. So yeah, I'm gonna be adding the onions last because I'm gonna give the onions a very rough blend. As you guys can see, these are a bit smooth, like a puree consistency, but we're going to do a rough consistency with the onion, okay? Okay, the onions are blended and this is what we have now. We're gonna set that aside and move on to the next step. All right, now I have my pot on my stove and I'm gonna add some oil to it, and I believe I add 4 cups of oil, but I'm gonna leave the right amount in the description and on the screen as well, okay? So we're gonna let that get hot before we start frying our meat. So now I'm adding a bit of salt to my meat for seasoning, and that is all we are going to be needing, nothing but salt, okay? So after a few minutes, now my oil is hot. I'm gonna go ahead and add my meat to it, and we're gonna fry that for a couple of minutes or until it is golden brown. So guys, I forgot to fry my cassava first before I put my meat in, so I'm gonna go ahead and add that right there. It's okay, it's gonna come out good still, it doesn't matter, but yeah, it would have been good if I did put my meat. I fried the cassava just as if you're frying your potatoes basically, okay? But yeah, we're just gonna get it to come to a golden brown color, and I will take it out and continue frying my meat. And as you guys can see, I'm just trying to flip the meat over. As you can see, some of them are brown on the other side, so I want to flip that over so it doesn't get burnt. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take my cassava out, and as you guys can see, my meat is brown at this point, and we are just gonna go ahead and add our onions very soon. Alright guys, I just went ahead and added my blended ingredients onto the meat that is frying, and I'm just gonna give that a stir, and we're gonna let that fry also for a couple of minutes. So at this point you wanna make sure you are stirring, so that your onions and meat doesn't get burned or stick to the bottom of the pot, because this is not a non-stick pot. So I went ahead and added my tomatoes, but by the way, this is about 3 to 4 tablespoons of tomato paste. Okay, so I went ahead and added my tomatoes, and I'm gonna give it a stir again, and we're gonna let it fry. So for the frying of the onions, I'm gonna let it fry for about 10 to 15 minutes. And as it's frying, I will be adding a bit of water. That is to kill that onion taste and caramelize the onion for us, because as you guys know, if you don't cook onions well enough, then it will have that very awful taste, and we don't want that. Now I went ahead and added 2 Maggi cubes, and I also added 1 tablespoon of black pepper, and I also added some Scotch bonnets, which is optional. I like spice, so my husband don't like spice, so my food usually is not very spicy, but I will always add the extra Scotch bonnets onto my food. That way I can eat it along when I'm eating. But if you don't like spice, then you can up this one out. Okay, so yeah, after doing all that, we're gonna let it continue frying for, like I said, 10 to 15 minutes. And as it's frying, I'm going to be adding a little bit of water, like half a cup of water. As soon as the water dries, we'll add some water and let it fry again. And then when the water dries, we add another water and let it fry again. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. So I went ahead and also added some carrots there. Carrots take long to cook, so I added it quickly. So the only thing we have left to add will be my cassava, because it is already half cooked. Now, if you have other vegetables that you want to use, like cabbage, or you want to use eggplant, or anything else that you want to use, go ahead and use it. But I only have carrots and cassava. But one of my favorite vegetables to enjoy with this meal will be cabbage. Okay. Alright guys, as you guys can see, I am giving it a stir. It's almost about to get burnt. Like I said, you have to keep stirring so it doesn't get burnt. So yeah, we're gonna let it fry for some more minutes. And like I said, this is what I'm saying. I'm adding a bit of water, like half a cup of water. And when that water dries, then I'll add a little bit of water again, basically 2 to 3 times. Okay. And also adding the little bit of water also helps the onions not to stick to the bottom as well, because if it's just oil, it is quicker to get burnt. So I went ahead and added 3 pieces of bay leaves. It is so good. It adds to the flavor and it's very aromatic. So yeah, if you have bay leaves, go ahead and add it. If you don't have it, you can opt it out. But I love my stew or my beef stew with some bay leaves. Okay, at this point, I think my carrots are almost about to be cooked. So soon I will be adding my cassava, which is already half cooked. I'm adding my final water, and this time around I added about a cup of water. And yeah, the carrots are almost cooked at this point, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my cassava to the pot so everything can cook together. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and cover it and let it cook for another 10 minutes and we will be done. Voila! So yeah, this is a very good dish. I love it. Like I said, you can make it with chicken, you can make it with fish, and you can also make it the way I did, which is with some lamb or beef. So at this point I am done. My water is all dried up and it is so good. I really enjoyed this meal and I cook it frequently at my house. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit on that subscribe button. Give me a big thumbs up so that my videos can be recommended in the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, thank you. Bye.